Hey everyone, Josh Rubry here, and today I want to talk to you about one of the things that I think leads to burnout more than anything else. In the first three chapters of my new mini book, Surviving Religious Burnout, I shouldn't name a book something that I'm not able to say myself, Surviving Religious Burnout. I talk about three things that I think contribute to burnout more than anything else. I think that's competing with other people in your faith. Two, I think it's when we get a critical spirit, we begin criticizing. And then I think when we begin comparing ourselves to other people, and they're all three connected, I believe. So they kind of run together. Anyway, this is the book right here, Surviving Religious Burnout. It's out right now. You can order it on Amazon, Kindle, Apple Books, Barnes and Noble. And this video right here is just kind of a companion to the blog that I posted today about serving instead of competing. Brennan Manning, who's one of my favorite authors, at least he wrote probably my all-time favorite book, The Ragamuffin Gospel. He said this in that book. He said, the temptation of the age is to look good without being good. And really, I think there's only one type of Christian, and that's the grateful kind. But whenever you get caught up in competition, you subscribe to a type of thinking that there's different classes of Christians. There's people who are more elite, who are willing to kind of live their life at a higher level. And then you kind of put people in a caste system below that. And normally the person who determines who's at the top is who's at the bottom is the person who believes that they're at the top. And that leads to burnout, because as soon as you're not meeting your own high expectations, you get discouraged and you quit. The other thing about that is that it puts you in a mindset where you have to race against other people to stay ahead of them, so that you can continue to feel good about your Christianity. Jonathan Edwards, in his famous sermon, "The Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God," said, "What are we that we should think to stand before him, at whose rebuke the earth trembles, and before whom the rocks are thrown down?" This shows me that we should all just be grateful, not try to be better than anybody else. So how do we get out of judging? Well, there's a way out of judging. Mother Teresa taught us how to get out of judging. She said, love is a one-way street. It always moves away from self in the direction of the other. In order to help ourselves break out of that, we have to get in the mindset that we're here to help others, not compete with them. When we do this, when we get back to serving, serving brings us back to loving, and loving gets us out of judging. And I think that's how we avoid becoming a tragedy. Whenever we avoid tragedies in other people's lives, whenever we look at their problems as not as an indictment against them instead of an opportunity for us to serve them, we become the tragedy instead. And we see that in the parable of the Great Samaritan. The priest and the Levite avoided the Good Samaritan. The priest and the Levite avoided the man who was beaten and robbed on the side of the road. But the Samaritan, the despised Samaritan, stopped and he helped them out. And, really, this is a parable about legalism. Those two people knew the law more than anybody else. They were the experts. In fact, it was a question from an expert in the religious law that led to Jesus telling this story. And Jesus made it clear. We're to love the Lord our God with all of our heart, all of our mind, all of our soul, and all of our strength. We're to love our neighbor as ourselves. Jesus made it simple. All we have to do is obey. So I hope that helped you out today. I hope that encourages you. Make sure to check out my book, Surviving Religious Burnout. It's out right now. It's out in ebook. You can get it a lot cheaper that way, or you can order the paperback. And I'd love to hear from you, hear what it means to you if you're able to read it. And I hope you have a good one. Until next time.